Waking to the eternal. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving, because nothing is beyond you. Time and eternity are both in your mind and will conflict until you perceive time solely as a means to regain eternity.
Okay, so that just really explains time and eternity. So the truth of all these people right now on this planet is eternity. And what they're experiencing, the hell that we're experiencing now, is time. And he's saying that what's going on here in time is going to conflict with what the reality of everyone's eternal reality is. It's going to conflict.
Yeah.
It's always going to conflict. So that means the only way you can find peace in this world is if you dedicate your life to awakening to eternity, not to make your life work in time, not to get a bigger house in time, not to have a better body in time, not to have relationships in time, not to heal, not to do any. He's saying there's a conflict between time and eternity because they do conflict. And until you make your purpose of your life awakening and helping the world awaken to the eternity, you will be in conflict. You will be in conflict. So don't take the medication to stop the conflict in your mind. So he's basically saying you will always be in conflict in time if you aren't serving eternity.
Yes.
You cannot live in time and serve yourself and not be in conflict.
Right.
That's just the facts right there.
Right there, yep. That's it.
Ego is not one way to God.
No.
The ego is time. That's
Yes.
what it is. It's the dimension of time. You can use your ego. You can use your identity as a body for the purposes of awakening, and then you will have a happy dream because you're serving your true identity. But you cannot have a happy dream serving your body to build a bigger house or to have more relationships or to look more attractive or to get. Win. That's not how. This is conflict. That's just why we're right now in the middle of destroying the planet because of this. Because we don't want to wake up to eternity. We have decided eternities to serve our time purposes. Like prosperity gospel is all about, I'm taking eternity to come into my time world and make time world the way I want it to be. My ego wants it to be.
Exactly what's happening.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole point of the prosperity gospel is God wants you to prosper. God wants you out of the time. He wants you to have everything, and that is only in eternity. He didn't mean here. And he will take care of us if we serve the goal of awakening. He will not take care of, meaning your spiritual reality, your spiritual eternal reality can't take care of you when you listen to your ego, because your ego wants to destroy you. So you can, even if you think you're getting this big house and you make it, manifest it with the power of our mind, because our mind is very powerful, you'll still be in conflict. So it's not going to solve any problem.
Everything that was created is therefore perfectly safe because the laws of God protect it by his love. Any part of your mind that does not know this has banished itself from knowledge because it has not met its conditions. Who could have done this but you? Recognize this gladly, for in this recognition lies the realization that your banishment is not of God and therefore does not exist. You are at home in God, dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of awaking to reality. Is it your will to do so? You know from your own experience that what you see in dreams you think is real as long as you are asleep. But the instant you waken, you know that everything that seemed to happen did not happen at all.
Now that's where we have to get to. It's just like remembering that. It's like, okay, remember that there's going to be a moment where all of this didn't happen, so that we don't get too attached to anything that's happening. Anything, any feeling, you got to know, okay, this is playing out, and I can use this to awaken, or I can use this to stay stuck. That's my choice. But nothing will mean anything when I wake up at the end of my life. I mean, none of it will mean anything because I either learned my lessons or I didn't. If I didn't learn my lessons, I'll have to replay. I'll have to redo. I'll have to retry. That's why it's better to learn the lessons than not.
What is possible has not yet been accomplished, but what has once been is so now, for it is eternal. When you remember, you will know what you remember is eternal and therefore is now. You will remember everything the instant you desire it wholly. For if to desire wholly is to create, you have willed away the separation, returning your mind simultaneously to the Creator and your creations. Knowing them, you will have no wish to sleep, but only the will to waken and be glad. Dreams will be impossible, because you will want only truth. And being at last your will, it will be yours.
Okay, see, that is the goal right there. See, that's what our goal is. And that's why every minute we monitor how we feel, and we choose peace, and we try to see it right. We don't pretend we're seeing it right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We find it, because this is how we wake up. And it's always a shift to an eternal reality. This paragraph or this section shows you that.
Right.
It's about awakening to a thing outside of time. You can't find forgiveness in time.
Yeah.
You have to switch to a spiritual reality. So all of this trying to forgive in time is getting people so confused that they're becoming slaves. Forgiveness is being used to enslave people. They think they have to let people abuse them. Forgiveness is letting people abuse them, because they're trying to forgive in time. You understand? Forgiveness releases you from your abuser when you go to the Spirit, because you realize, I don't need this. I'm a spirit. I don't need this treatment, and this person could choose differently, and I can walk away and let them wait. Give them time to figure out when they want to wake up. But I don't have to sit here in this abusive relationship. I can walk away. You understand? Forgiveness, when you think God wants you to forgive in time, you stay with abusers, and that's why the world is stuck with their abusers. Like the church is making everyone slaves by saying you need to forgive this person and let them beat you. And real forgiveness, when you shift to Spirit, you would go, I don't need to be beaten by this person because this church tells me, or that person says they need to. I'm a spiritual being. I'm enslaving myself. I don't have to be here. You understand? If people tell you to forgive in time, it's the wrong kind of forgiveness. It's a caving. It's kind of a surrender. You're trying to forgive in time. Well, that makes you're enslaved to the person you're forgiving, because you're saying it's okay they're abusive. It's okay you hurt me.
Right.
Like you have to forgive the white supremacists who enslave black people, because you have to forgive them because God wants you to forgive them. That enslaves people. And that's what they tell these black people. They're supposed to forgive and be calm and be quiet. You're not supposed to complain.